Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Uh, I wanted to come today because I have been on TV, first of all, and every time I pick up the newspaper or watching news events on TV, um, it's something running across that I don't like. The first thing, and I named that as my title, all three people were shot within the same week. Is it too many guns out on the streets? Is it a mental health illness problem? Or are we just got some evil individuals here in our communities? And so that's what I wanted to touch corners on. Uh, so if you could give me 1 second, then we can get started. Okay, okay. Let me see if I can get this up. Okay, so here we are today. All three have gotten shot in the same week. Uh, and my thing is it too many guns out on the streets? But then I thought, well, is it mental health issues going on with people because we're getting close to the summer? You know, every time you start getting close to the summer, people start misbehaving. So you don't know if it's that or is people just pure evil. And the reason I say that because in each one of these incidents, uh, it didn't have to happen. It could have went the other way. Uh, the young guy, let me go over it. I had did a story on him, and before I know it, uh, it's like two other people popping up in the same week. His name is Ralph Yale, and he was 16. He was shot in the head by a homeowner because he rang the wrong doorbell. He actually thought that his mother sent him to pick up his siblings, and he went to the wrong house. The house he was supposed to went to was the next street over. But he got out the car thinking he was going to get his brothers, and he ended up in the wrong house, and the guy came, shot him through the door, opened up the door, and shot him again in the arm. Could that have went the other way? Yes, it could have. My point of view is it didn't have to go down like this. He could have not opened the door. He said he felt that the young man was trying to break in. I feel that's an excuse that everybody come up with, especially when it's a white on black crime, the first thing they say is I was afraid for my life. And it's getting so disgusting because I know you're lying. You, it's not like he was a young guy. He was 16. It could have been the mailman, like I said in the other video. It could have been the pizza man, got the address wrong. You don't know who it was. It could have been a police officer. So if he was black, you just gonna shoot him? You didn't ask questions like who are you? Or he could have had the wrong house. So I looked at that as just a pure evil event. The second young lady, uh, Kaylin Gillis, she's 20 years old. She was shot because she turned into the wrong driveway. And in the upscale New York, she turned into the wrong driveway. The owner of the house just came out and started shooting randomly. She was looking for her friends, got mixed up with the wrong address. And he just came out and started shooting. He ended up taking this young lady's life. The third one, Payton, Washington, she's 18. She got into the wrong car accidentally. All these people it was an accident. For her friends, cheerleading squad was leaving practice and they went to the grocery store. And one of them thought it was her car. How many times have we mistaken somebody else's car for our car because they look identical, and she got into the wrong car. And the guy and she was trying to apologize, and the guy just started shooting at them. It was four of them. Two of them got away. One of them was sort of struck in the leg. And Miss Washington ended up in the hospital in critical condition because he shot her. And so that's why I say that was just a pure evil event. And this is just saying that the young man, he was 16, high school student. He played musical instruments, played the band, and all he did was ring the wrong doorbell. So is ringing the wrong doorbell gonna cost us our life now? Are people that evil? Andrew Lester, he's 84. He's the man who owned the property. He the one shot the young man through the door. He is in jail now, from my knowledge. I know that they had released him, but then they made him come back and turn himself in. What's going on with that case, I'm not quite sure right now. But they did make him turn himself in because attempted murder. The young man, he said he was going to bed and somebody rang his doorbell, so I'm just going to get up and shoot him. Is this how we're handling things in our communities? Because then it wonders, are guns in the wrong people hanging? Caitlin Gibbs, 20 years old, young lady. She pulled in the wrong driveway. Beautiful young lady. But nowhere near the door. She just pulled in, realized she was at the wrong house, turned backed out, and he just come out the house and started shooting. Senseless. And there she is with her dogs. She was a beautiful young lady, had a beautiful spirit. And the homeowner was 65. And shot her. She's just looking for a friend's house. Yep. Kevin, 65 years old. He was charged with murder, second degree. Just walked out of his house and just started shooting in the dark. Didn't even know who was in the car. Didn't know who he had hit. Are we just that angry inside? Because you got that much anger in you or pure hate that you just get up and just go grab a gun and start shooting because you came in my driveway. That's too much hate and evilness in your heart. So we're going to remember her tonight, sending up prayers for her. I can imagine what her family is going through because it was so senseless. Um, she just made a mistake, and people are getting killed for making a mistake. So my heart goes out to the family. Another beautiful young lady, 18 years old. She lived in Texas and accidentally got into the wrong car. And this 25-year-old man just opened fire on her in the car. Didn't give her time to apologize. We got into the wrong car. Didn't mean any harm. They were females. And so what I did, I looked at these as hate crimes, because it went beyond. People are too hostile. Crime, a hate crime is a crime against another person or property that motivates by an offender hatred of someone because of their race, religion, sexual, their disability. Hate can be taken in many forms, including physical assault, damage to people's properties, um, arson, hate, just the bad attitude. What give you the right to go out and shoot somebody even though they're on your property? And in the first case, he said, well, he's trying to break in my house. No, I think he may have been knocking on the door. If he knocked on the door, or if you had a doorbell, he may have rung the doorbell, or he was trying to knock on the door. Um, I don't see him causing any harm or trying to physically break into your house. I think that's something that everybody says to cover themselves of a crime that they've committed. Well, I was afraid of my life. Well, looking at somebody black don't make you afraid of your life, especially when we've been through, well, our ancestors has, and old as this man is, I'm quite sure you was back when it was slavery or black people. You act like they just came around. Oh, I'm afraid of black people. We've been here all our life, just like you have. And so that can go both ways. I'm just as afraid of you as you are of me, So we got to stop using that. Well, I was afraid, and I'm just going to shoot through my door and kill this other individual. That's the laws need to be changed, definitely. So I look at things as a hate crime. There's too much hate going on in our communities. People targeting other people, and all I can see is just hate in their hearts. You could doing criminal acts. So if you're doing out here doing a criminal act, it's a hate crime. You are harming somebody else for the wrong reason, and that person never meant to cause you any harm. So I know it's getting hot, and people, some people that have guns do not need them. Some people have mental health issues. Maybe they're going through depression. The reason that you want to just open up your door and start shooting. My thing is, I will look at your mental health to see if you're depressed. Do you have any family members? It could have been a family member at your door, and you just start shooting because you didn't know the individual. It just didn't make any sense to me. It was a senseless killing. Um, Even with the young lady who got into the wrong car, or even the that was the cheerleader that got into the wrong car. But you took a person's life because they pulled in your driveway. Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? I make Do you know how many times we all have made mistakes and we have to turn around in somebody's driveway? I know I have. I've done it more than I can count on my hands. And I said, oh, I'm at the wrong house. Or, no, this is the wrong address. Let me turn around. But does it mean that you're going to take my life for it? Wow. Really? That's too much hate in your heart. So that's why I say they were senseless killings, and two have been injured, um, and one lost their life. Even the young man who got shot in the head, he may not be there mentally, because you shot him in the head. I don't care what you shot him with. He was going to college. Did you mess him up for life? Is that going to be a triggering effect on him? Nobody knows what his long-term effect would be. So let me see. I'm trying to get back to the first one. I guess we all need to take a second look at what we're doing, because the wrong people are getting killed for no reason. People are getting killed for the wrong reason, and it don't have to be this way. And so I ask, are they too many guns out on the streets? We've been asked that question before, and people are fighting to get guns off the streets. And it makes you wonder, is it the guns or is it the people? Do you have that much hate in your heart that you're out here doing senseless acts? Maybe that individual definitely doesn't need a gun because you're killing people as if it's nothing. You got that much hate in your heart. And that's the way I look at it, is that much hate in your heart that you would go out here and you just shooting individuals, people, for no reason. You're committing a hate crime. And it could be verbal abuse. A hate crime could be of attacks, uh, physical attacks. And all these three individuals definitely had a physical uh, assault. They were assaulted. And was it based on, I don't think it was based on their gender or religious. Well, in the first case with the young man, they said that that was race. It was based on his race that you're saying you was afraid because he was a black man at your door. I don't believe that. He didn't look like he would cause any harm for me not to ask him first, who is it? Because that's what people do when you knock on somebody's door. The first thing you say is, who is it and what do you want? You know? And I think if you'd have done that, then you would have known that he was looking for his brother. And it wasn't somebody trying to break in. You didn't even have to open your door. You could have screamed through the door. But then I think they were trying to say, even in that case, it's a stand your ground. So that means everybody standing their ground because you pull up in their driveway or you knock on their door. You possibly could be killed because you're knocking on the wrong door. And that's senseless. You have church people walking around all the time. I know in my community, knocking on doors. You don't just grab a gun and go out here and go, hey, wow. It doesn't make any sense. So I look at it as maybe the individual has so much hate in their hearts that you don't value human life, that you're out here taking it out on individuals. And so that's why I looked at it as a hate crime, also known as bias crime, motivated crime, prejudice against another group or different people. Prejudice don't always mean against another color. It could be against our own color that you could be prejudiced and biased. But you turn it into an incident. It's come a hate crime when you physically assault somebody, and then it's homicide and bullying and harassment and verbal abuse. Hate crime can be in many different forms. And just like bias motivated um, you could end up hurting the wrong people and it's senseless. So are you prejudiced against your own people? Are you prejudiced against another person, religion, age, race, sexuality, ethnicity, your beliefs versus their beliefs, gender bias? In these three incidents, I don't know what these men were thinking about. Um, I do feel it didn't have to go down this way. I want to know your thoughts. How do you feel? What do you feel about the three people that were shot in 1 week? Even though they were in different communities, they were still in the United States, and they have a right. Uh, we all have a right to make a mistake. We're human. So when you're saying you have no right to knock on my door, or you have no right to turn around in my driveway, or get into the car because you thought it looked like yours, you don't have a right to do these things. This is it's ridiculous. So my heart goes out to the family, definitely the one who lost their daughter. I could imagine their hearts are broken at this point in time, and nobody can fulfill that love that somebody have for their child. This is somebody's child. This is somebody's sister or brother, and people are just taking guns and shooting people for no reason. Senseless. It doesn't make any sense. So, is it mental health? Do we have too many guns out? Or are people just pure evil? They just mean spirit and hateful. And you go out here and just grab a gun and just shoot somebody because you got that much hate in your heart. Um, I would love to hear your view. I would love to hear your comments. So let me know how you feel. I would definitely like to know how you feel about it. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and definitely hit my like button as well as comment. I definitely would appreciate it.